Hey Tarot people, Frankie Nicole here. Happy Tuesday. Or Monday. This is for Tuesday. I have to admit, I don't. Kind of at a loss for words. I had to read a lot today. But if one thing I can. I don't know if I can really focus or center on is just how much we actually really know. I mean, things, they become so second nature to us that it's hard to distinguish the difference between either knowing or not knowing or having or not having. And it's funny because, I'm getting back into my career again, and I'm going to admit, I was nervous that I had forgotten a lot of things. I mean, I even, I don't know, I even thought that, I was behind and I hadn't, I wasn't up to snuff anymore for what and then I was at orientation today and it all just came flooding back, and it was like second nature, all the know-how and the little secrets of the trade that I had learned that kind of just started flooding back in. And I have such a greater perspective now that I have gone through a pretty severe injury myself. And it's crazy to think that I actually doubted myself so much for what I knew and the experience that I had and who I was, thinking that I was just down here and not and didn't really know a whole lot anymore, or didn't really know. And then, along with that comes, like, you feel like this respect thing where a certain amount to get respected by other people, I suppose, because of that knowledge that you possess. And that when people don't know or they don't respect that knowledge, it's really difficult to, like, feel your self-worth. And learning how to express that and, like, show how knowledgeable I am in what I do and what I know. I mean, 5 years, 3 years spent, well, 3.5 years spent studying kines at Western, doing muscle testing and um, different physiological tests and labs, and learning physics. I mean, it's like we forget all this stuff from the past that's positive or that's, like, meaningful, because it doesn't immediately jump out to on the everyday. And, like, we diminish ourselves because we don't exercise it every single day. I mean, unless you're readily doing, like, physics experiments in a lab, you're not going to be using physics directly in your life. But that doesn't mean that you don't understand or know, because, I mean, yes, we're not, we're not a library up in here in our mind, but, once you learn something, it's not that hard to recall back to that information that you've learned. So, I mean, it was a really great reminder of how amazing I am to myself. And I want to challenge everyone who watches, my 39, 40, 39, 38, how many of our viewers there are, which I'm so thankful for, all of you who are watching. I want you to go back, like, look through an old journal, look through an old textbook, look through an old school notebook of, like, a subject that you really, really enjoyed, and look at your notes and just, like, go back to that point and remember how you felt at that point and compare it to, like, how you feel now. And, like, maybe you want to go back and study those things again. Maybe that was something that was really passionate for you that you, like, kind of swept under the rug because you had to do other things and you had to start, earning a living, for this social construct we call life, which is slowly crumbling, and I'm very excited. Soon we will be in a utopian society. I am very much excited about that. Time. It'll take some time, but I have confidence. If hackers can hack into the Ashley Madison website and threaten to expose a buttload of cheaters, karma, then we can have a utopian society. I'm not worried. So, with that, and I got my Ninja Turtles shirt on, although it's backwards because of the camera, but I have this for, like, ever. This is one of my favorites. It's really hard for me to throw away t-shirts. I don't... I don't like doing it. I hold on to my stuff. I'm not a big, trend follower. I mean, I've had some trendy clothes, but they just go out of style so quickly. What's the point? And, you get them and they're just, like, either you're paying a buttload of money for, like, something that's going to pass by really quickly, and then you just wasted a bunch of money on something that you're only going to wear I don't know how many times. Or, you spend, like, you go to a cheapy store and then it breaks, like, the second time you wear it, or when you wash it, it, like, falls apart. So, I like to buy quality things that are going to last a while, and then they're going to stay classic for a while, because that's my style, classic. It's like, a great pair of shoes you can always wear. Not that I'm a pair of shoes or anything like that, but, I just think that there's too much throwaway in our culture. There's too much, like Ashley Madison. Instead of figuring out and working on things with your partner, well, okay, let's just go on a website and meet somebody else who wants to cheat as well. I mean, why not just go to therapy with your partner? Or, I don't know, here's a crazy idea. Don't just marry anybody and find the right person for you, even if it takes you longer in your life. I mean, I don't know why people have given up on thinking that, they can find a quality mate and then just marrying somebody after, I don't know how many years. Like, okay, well, now it's time that we get married. Like, maybe that was, like, the past and how things used to be. But I don't think that's how things have to be anymore. I think we can actually believe again that there is the right person out there for us, and that we're willing to be patient enough to wait, to figure out exactly who we are and what we want, and then finding somebody who's exactly like that. And sure, yeah, it hurts when you meet somebody that you have a connection with and, things are not right, but, if it's not right, then why would you waste time on something like that? I feel like we can really figure that out within the first, I don't know, first few times of meeting somebody, if there's gonna be something. I mean, yeah, it takes a little bit longer to get to know somebody and know if they'll be like a friend, but I think like that initial compatibility and understanding is definitely almost immediate. Interesting. And there's something to be said about working on things, like not so much throwaway culture. Like, why are we throwing stuff away? Why are we just tossing it like like we're afraid to fix something? We're afraid to put a little hard work to make something happen. All right. Well, on that note, we have the Empress in reverse, the Chariot upright, Four of Cups upright, and the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Now, the Empress is it's all about starts, beginnings, fertile energy. She's very feminine character, and it can represent fertility in all its forms, but it also can represent I've heard it where you're almost not getting your worth for something, like you're if you don't ask. I mean, the receptive energy of femininity, it doesn't always ask, and so if we don't put in the petition for how much something actually is, people don't usually realize until they don't have it anymore. Then they're like, oh yeah, this is missing in my life, and it takes a long string to trail it back to exactly what the fact was, because it's not so overly stated. And it's like we need everything so stated directly in our life, like this equals this, and so if you don't have this, then you will not have this. And it's like the feminine energy is very quiet and subtle and fertile and mysterious, and it's not always in your face. And so I feel like that it gets taken for granted for a lot, and people feel like they don't ask. And honestly, with this energy, it's not always, I mean, you should ask, but I mean, it's not some people feel like they shouldn't have to, because it should be recognized. And yeah, but sometimes you do have to step forward and you have to say, no, you appreciated this service of mine, or you appreciated this thing that I do, but you never express your gratitude, and you never show your how much you appreciate it. So I don't really feel like providing this service anymore, or this thing, because I'm gonna find somebody who appreciates it. And then there's the Chariot upright, so a directed, concentrated effort. So maybe there's a directed, concentrated effort into expressing this need for gratitude, this need for recognition in your life. And there's the Four of Cups here, which is, there's that one cup above it all, and it's kind of this wistfulness, this wishing. So maybe there's something that you're wishing for that you need to express, that you need. I need this in my life, and you are not giving it to me, but in a direct, concentrated manner. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, which kind of leans towards not completely messing with the security. So like, maybe you're trying to express your needs, and maybe instead of saying, oh well, then we're done, this is done, I don't want this anymore if you're not going to give it to me, because it's very rigid, being a little bit more softer with, don't you appreciate how this is like this? So perhaps there is something that needs to be recognized and brought out into the forefront that is not always um, overstated and um, obvious. And with these cards, we have strength here, which is you have the strength to get what you need and to make your point known, and step out of the cold and not just hope and wish for something, but step in and say, yes, this is what I want, this is what I need, and your wishes will be met, I believe. This Nine of Cups, especially in reverse, is just a wonderful um, wish card. And we've had some pretty heart-centered cards being pulled for the last few days, which is really funny with all this Ashley Madison stuff going on, and the Ten of Pentacles and the Empress and the wish card. Seek out your heart's desire. Remain firm but soft in your approach. So with that, I will leave you with the Moonlight Sonata. Bye.